The Falcons made a trade earlier into round 3 with the Philadelphia Eagles to land Xavier Watts, safety out of Notre Dame. So I'm going to tell you everything you got to know about him, and then I'm going to give you my grade for this pick altogether. But Atlanta, sitting there at 101, which was originally the Rams pick, got the itch to trade back, which they love to do, and they used a future fifth to move up 5 spots with the Eagles, and they select Xavier Watts, safety out of Notre Dame. I love this pick right here. I have no idea how or why Xavier Watts fell this far. He is a prototypical safety, 82 tackles last year, 6 interceptions, 16 pass breakups. He was a 4-star recruit coming out. He was from Nebraska originally, Omaha, redshirted in 2020. He starts the last 2 seasons for the Fighting Irish, consensus All-American, Sugar Bowl MVP in 2024. He is a ball hawk of a safety. 13 career interceptions, 7 in 2023, 6 in 2024. No other player in FBS had even 10 combined interceptions in 2023 to 2024. He's in a club of his own. Now, from a size-wise, I said prototypical. We can call it adequate. We can call it average. He's not going to stand out with his size or his strength or his speed, but he's not going to be that's not going to be a hindrance to him necessarily. Is he the best athlete on the field? Probably not. 4.58 40-yard dash. Again, not a liability. I don't think these numbers can be viewed as that's a problem. It's just not a calling card of his. But 13 interceptions over 2 years, consensus unanimous All-American safety. I mean, Bronco Nagurski Award winner for the nation's top defender in 2023. Yeah, I love it. Love it for the Falcons. Has great ball skills. Our NFL draft expert, Tom Downey, had him as his number 3 safety, 34 overall player. I mean, Terry went to bed last night with a huge smile on his face. And now he goes to bed tonight with maybe a bigger smile, knowing, hey, I got an incredible safety, and I didn't even have to give up much for him. I thought picking at 101, we'd be getting some guy that we hadn't even heard of before. Instead, they're getting an All-American safety. And all it cost you was a future 5th rounder. I can't say enough good things about this pick right here. I liked both the Falcons' first-round picks. This might be my favorite pick when you take into the value of where you got him and how good he is. The Atlanta Falcons, I think, are kicking ass in this NFL draft. Before I give you my grade, which you can already guess what it's going to be for Watts, make sure to subscribe. We recently crossed 35,000 subscribers. Greatly appreciate all of you who hopped aboard. Now we're trying to get to 36K, but we got to stop at 35.250 first. 238 away. If you haven't yet, please scroll on down, click that subscribe button. Now a little bit more on Watts, and then we'll talk just grade for him and kind of what Atlanta has done the entirety of the NFL draft. So Dane Brugler from The Athletic has always good things to say about these players. Here's his write-up on Watts. Watts isn't a safety you want playing man-to-man coverage against slot receivers very often, but he is a solid run defender with the route anticipation and ball skills to sniff out plays from depth. He projects as an NFL starter and would fit best in a split safety zone-heavy scheme. Zone-heavy scheme? May I introduce you to Raheem Morris, who had the second most zone defense last year in the National Football League. I think Watts is going to step into that locker room and immediately compete with Jordan Fuller. Don't put him in situations where he has to use his speed and quickness to lock down a player. Let him read offenses. Let him sit in his zone and let him use his instincts and his ball skills and come up with big plays. Everyone's been focused, and rightfully so, on Atlanta's lack of a pass rush ever since Terry Fontenot took over, ever since this franchise was conceived, okay? Keep in mind, the interceptions and the takeaways have been poopy too. Before we wrap up today's episode, I do want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Game Time. Game Time has an awesome deal. Save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time choose the seats with zone deals. They make getting tickets faster and easier, even for hard-to-get playoff seats. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets, playoff tickets, and you can save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHAT Sports for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. So getting back to Atlanta and what they've done so far in the draft, I give the Xavier Watts draft selection an A+. I think this is going to be one of those picks that leads all of the articles tomorrow of best picks from day 2 of the NFL draft. Xavier Watts at 96? I think Atlanta was sitting in the war room going, are we watching like Impractical Jokers? How is this guy there? Yeah, give up a future fifth to jump up 5 spots and get Watts and Bates working together. This is going to be a fun defensive turnaround. You go Jalon Walker at 15. He's going to just be the future identity of this defense. I'm telling you now. Then James Pearce, who was the plan all along at 15, and that's your new heat-seeking missile to get to the quarterback. And finally, Watts to step into that secondary, which was kind of so-so last year, but it got a little bit of a pass because everyone was focused on the pass rush. Atlanta has not done a very good job of generating interceptions the last 2 seasons. Unless your name is Jesse Bates, everyone else has been subpar from that department. So, looking over the entirety of Atlanta's, day 1 and day 2 draft picks, I give the Falcons so far an A. Starter. You got 3 starters for a defense that was abysmal on like a good day last season. Raheem Morris, he's got some speed to work with right there, and now he's got some experience and some playmaking to work with here. Atlanta has a 4th-round pick. Then they pick again in round 7, and that's it for the Falcons. So they only have 2 more picks in the NFL draft unless they make some more moves, which they could trade back from round 4, get an extra 5th, and walk out with 3 picks instead. But honestly, they could give up their picks right now, and I'd give the Falcons an A. I'd give them an A for all the picks they've made so far. All right, here are some of the best available players as we move into day 3 of the NFL draft. We're filming this right towards the end of round 3 of the draft. Denver traded right back into round 3 with the Falcons pick at 101. So we've got some possible movement going on here with 2 more teams picky as I'm filming right now. But I love this pick for Atlanta. All right, how would you grade the pick so far? I give the Falcons, I give them an A. I give the Xavier Watts pick an A. I give all these picks an A. I think the Falcons are killing it. I'm not trying to be a homer or be biased or anything like that. I genuinely feel that the Falcons are kicking ass and taking names in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We're going to have more draft coverage tomorrow, so come back then as we break down every single pick by your Dirty Birds.